I'm going to ask in all my videos up front, if you could, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps with the algorithms and it helps keep gun channels like mine strong, even though YouTube is like kind of gradually and slowly trying to force us out. By doing that, the algorithms will help keep the channel going and help it expand. So if you would, thank you. Hit the like button and subscribe. Alright, so this is our Gforce Jawbone 9mm pistol. This particular gun has an aluminum upper, okay, has a polymer lower, and takes Glock style magazines. So the magazines I used in the testing was I have this, I think it's ETS, ETS, these transparent ones. I believe this is a 15 rounder. These magazines are good. I've used these in any Glock style handgun that takes this type of magazine, and in my full length carbine in this gun, these work good. This is what I did to sight it in. I used this mag to sight it in, no problems. Then I went and loaded up to test these Rattlesnake tactical, really inexpensive magazines. And I said, you know what, man, I should take the magazine that came with the Gforce. And I grabbed it out of the box, and it has the thing on the bottom, Gforce. It has a blue follower, but the body, and this is Amend 2 is on there. Amend 2. This body looks almost identical to this Rattlesnake Tactical. I'd almost assume they're from the same manufacturer. The follower in this one looks a little bit heavier, the one that came with the Gforce, the follower and the base plate, but it's basically the same mag. These things function fine. I loaded them both up with 34 rounds and I fired 2 of them through this gun. The only thing was, when I was firing it, I think my thumb or something could have hit the mag release and I dropped the one out of the pistol grip. And it fell to the ground, but I picked it up, no cartridges came out, and that's a Rattlesnake Tactical. And I ran both of them without a problem through the gun. So this particular handgun, I fired a little more than 100 rounds through it, through the day, between the sight-ins. That was 68 rounds there, and I think another 25 rounds and another Glock style mag I had, and so on and so forth. This gun, I did because this brace is a little bit more solid and sturdy, kind of helped. I did have a reflex sight on there, which once I got it dialed in, that helped greatly. And if you watch the video, there'll be a card up front to the video where I fired this. The gun functioned flawlessly with the exception of, and like I said, I have issues, racking the gun back with this type of, that's the only thing I don't like about this pistol is this charging handle on the side. Is difficult for me to operate, but because it has a last shot bolt hold open, which functioned through a vast majority of the test, that's not an issue. I cock it once in the beginning and I go through and it functioned well until we got up somewhere about 80-90 rounds. It started to stop working, and I really don't know why. The only thing I can think of is lack of lubrication and grind, because here, we'll pull this back. That should trip it. No, it ain't working now for some reason. That should have tripped it. About the only issue we got. And I did take this apart, and I'll show you what the problem is. We'll cut. Alright, our magazine hold open started malfunctioning after about 100 rounds. So here we have it to be cleaned. This is the little lever up front here that the magazine trips and will move the bolt stop up. I noticed it was kind of getting really dirty and fouled. So with the hammer down, when we push the magazine up and it trips it, it isn't putting enough pressure to get the bolt stop to come up. I mean, you see it's even if we take the hammer back, it doesn't. But then it resets, and if we put it in without the hammer there, when we put it up, it'll trip it like it should. So it could be it was just fouled up and the bolt wasn't going back far enough for releasing it. So what I'm going to do is just clean this whole area, all these parts, lubricate this rod, put some lubricant here and then down in here. And hopefully that'll do it, but I think what was happening is there is a buildup in this area, all of it, of powder fouling, and that's what eventually caused the failure. Just it was dirty and not well lubricated. I did not lubricate any of these parts, which I will do now after the cleaning. Alright, so when I got back home, I took this apart and looked. It was working, okay? I guess I'm going to have to look at it again. And I cleaned it, oiled everything, but now it's not doing it. That floor plate should push that little finger up, and that finger's connected to a rod. You can see here, if you look at the close-ups there, you could see where it comes, and then that would lift that up. But it's not tripping it now, so I'll have to look into that. But that was about the only thing. So the only two things I didn't like is the cocking handle and the fact that the bolt hold open stopped working on me. Other than that, the gun fires fine, functions well. This too is accurate from the bench. You know, I could get some accurate bullet placement at 25 yards. Granted, with this reflex sight, which is probably the type of sight you should use on a type of a firearm like this, because it's short, compact, you pick it up quick, and it's close range. This is another gun. I couldn't hit anything at 50 yards. So it's 25 yards and under. I did get to where on a 12 by 14 I can hit that pretty good at 25 yards holding it. And like I said, it has a lot to do with this brace. This brace, even though there's some movement in there, this brace is a lot steadier and better than the one I had on the 5.56 pistol. But ammunition went through it without a hitch. And someone did bring up in one of the comments about these 9mm blowback guns. My carbine, when I first built it, very violent recoil because they're blowback. There's no locking mechanism. Longer the barrel, more force throwing the bolt carrier back. So 9mm carbines and pistols are tricky. What I had to do was replace the spring in the buffer tube, put the heaviest buffer I could find. There are adjustable ones that correct this problem. I had to throw a lot of money into that carbine, but I finally got it to where it was working. And even then, when I first fired it until a break-in period, you could see when you fired it in the carbine, okay, which is a heavier gun than this. When that bolt came back, it was, it was hard to hang on to the gun. The gun was jumping at it until it somewhat wore in. And then after a few hundred rounds or so, it got to where it's smooth shooting, soft recoiling, and all that other stuff. This gun was doing that right out of the box. The action wasn't going in and out very rugged, but when you take this apart and push on that buffer, that's pretty strong. I mean, you got to force it. So there's a heavy spring. I didn't know, I don't know if it's a heavy buffer, but however this is set up right out of the box, it functions good, perfect, just right. Smooth shooting, no recoil, no jolting like I had on my 16-inch barrel carbine. Very smooth operating firearm, okay? So right out of the box, it's good. Granted, it's only got a little 5-inch barrel on there, but you can, like I said, as a close range gun, 25 yards or closer, I can hit the target even with my bad arm, and the gun does function without a hitch, other now than this bolt hold open. I have to investigate that further. But yeah, I don't see a lot of people doing videos on this firearm, and I mean, for what it was, I got this on a buy. You can find it online for $399.99, and I went to the gun show and I got it from the one guy for $420 out the door, which if I ordered that from Battlehawk or whatever, I couldn't get it at that low of a price. So this was a gun show bargain. And I do like this. I mean, other than for a couple items on this, this is a really nice little 9mm pistol, Glock style mag pistol. Okay. Then again, well, they're pistols. Okay, that's what they are. It's not a match gun. It's not the same thing as a carbine or anything like that. But for a little compact pistol, I really like this. I was shocked, and I'm surprised more people ain't out there testing it. I don't know if it's because of this polymer lower that people shy away from it or stay away from it. But it is a nice shooting gun, and I got a card here somewhere, a link to the video of me shooting this. Okay, so I like it. All right, so thank you and stay tuned.